you know, with 1 day forwards, which I mean, I don't know. I was doubting whether that was a correct way to do it, but you think it's a correct way to do it, so I'll trust you. And obviously, we got a negative result, but that's considering the fact that we're going 1 day forward for every day that you drank alcohol,
What's
and
a
we're
negative result?
negative 0.902 with
What? That's like,
39
you mean
samples.
like significantly healthy?
Yeah, but that will not make sense because we're using like like the values of 1 day forwards, and alcohol takes 30 minutes to take effect upon your body.
Yeah, but we're talking about lasting health consequences, uh, not like in the moment effect.
Yeah,
Intra.
but yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
I
so.
definitely want to see it, and also like I really want to like figure out like if I do end up sometimes buying Apple, like I still want us to figure out which one is which one I should pick between the options because obviously
Yeah,
I sooner or later I still pick up something.
yeah, I got you.
No, I mean there's no like inherent I
I
can't
know, I know what's
I can't
inherent.
think of an inherent error. No, no, I was just thinking if that's the right word. I can't think of an inherent error if we do 1 day forward. But there's like clearly like a really big inherent error if we do it the day off. Because like I said, I get fucked up and then I drink. And so half of the time it was like I'm not trying like I don't know, like medicate myself
Yeah.
because like I'm more already like even if I like a lot of times like especially last one, even if I didn't drink beer, it was gonna be much lower value. It was already much lower value on the health index, and then I drink
Mm-hmm.
beer. But so I don't know. I mean, it's still just something for us to work on to like figure out what the fuck is going on as far as like
Yeah.
effective alcohol.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in my opinion, I mean, yes, I don't know. I will not eat it up, I will not tend to believe into this health in terms of myself, considering the fact that we're using the day forwards and takes 30 minutes for alcohol to take effect on your body. Like you
Yeah,
take
but
it.
again, we don't care about short terms. We're trying to look at the lasting health effects.
Yeah, I guess.
Like I wouldn't even mind looking at like fucking if I was able to like stay off alcohol long enough, I would love to fucking see like I drink alcohol and then see fucking 30 days forward and do that like 10 times and see like 30 days after fucking alcohol like effect on everything, like the
Mm.
lasting like is there like tiny it's like slow degradation or not, like people claim from alcohol.
Yeah.
But I can't. I don't have enough fucking points where I didn't drink for that long.
I
Actually, I
mean,
do. Like, well, I kind of tried. Like when I did it, like 30-day forward of no alcohol, or it was. I think it was even 45 days. Um, it was actually healthy. Um, and I mean, I did it like instead of 4 days back, 4 days forward. I did like 35 days, or yeah, I think it was like 35 or 45 days backwards, 45 days forward. Like to
I
really see
mean,
like lasting.
but realistically speaking, yeah, in order to considering the fact that you've been a lot healthier compared to in the past, right? I think that to get better
Well,
results, you should start doing it like in terms of like now. Even if you're gonna do it for 30 days, you should do it for like 15 days. Like that way it'll be more ritual or yeah, more likely more likely to you to do it. Achievable.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, I
more
mean,
achievable.
I've been trying not to drink at all, and like you can see that that's how that's working out.
Yeah, yeah, and also working
So,
out and drinking water. You're in a good path, bro. I'm glad
no,
that.
no, no.
Well,
I'm saying that I've been trying not to drink at all, and you can see how that's working out.
yeah, yeah, of
Like
course.
it's not really working out that well. Like like it's kind of, I guess I'm making progress, but
I mean, compared to back then, I think that you're making progress. Like, you will
yeah,
tend to get wasted very often, and you're doing it way less, in my opinion.
yeah,
Like, there is
yeah.
progress
I
to be
agree.
made, but you have made a significant progress for someone that, was constantly drinking all the time. So, I think you're in the
Yeah,
right path.
yeah, yeah. That's yeah. I mean, it wasn't like that I've been like uh um like I wasn't like it was so so like I was at home and I wasn't drinking at all, and then once all the shit hit me and then I was alone, like I started drinking, and so like and then I'm winding down. But it like happened to me like a couple times before, and like I would go on the road and I would just be alone, and then I would start drinking, and then I would slowly try to figure it out, and then sometimes like I would cut my driver's license and fix it that way, like a
Hmm.
couple times before when it happened, like I've always been able to like get out of it, but it's always like a risk, like will I get out of it or not? So I guess maybe hopefully I'm on the right track right now, but let me see
Yeah.
how much I'm supposed to exercise.
Um, and in terms of daylight, remember that you told me to use like all points versus half of the hypothesize mean.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, we got what was I
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
say?
I can let's see how. Hmm. I was wondering if um I can switch to the laptop. Uh, Actually, I tap the phone up so I can see it while I exercise,
We
and then you
got
can maybe share screen. What?
yeah, yeah. We got the fucking uh if we use like all of the sample mean of you missing daylight, or the most daylight means like 6 to 7, and half of them in the hypothesis mean, it basically says that not skipping daylight is healthy. Like skipping less daylight is healthy. So basically, the more
So
you
the result changed the opposite.
yeah, yeah, it switched.
Okay. Yeah, I would love to see what's
The
like
result 0.650.
and the critical.
The T critical is negative 549.
Oh, you said negative what?
0.549.
Okay, and the t value is 0.6 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's significant. Okay. I mean, is that the same for your and my data?
What do you mean?
Well, you have your data on daylight, and there's my data on daylight, right? Or not?
Yeah, yeah, but I thought that you were only talking about your data when you said I wanted to do one of like all versus half.
Oh no, I was talking about your data as well, man.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, because it's we're just saying is it healthy or unhealthy, and
Yeah, yeah.
if it's
Okay,
healthy,
well,
then it should be
since
good
now
for you as
on,
well.
I'm gonna assume that if you say do these statistics like this way, and it's something that I can use for myself and you, I will do it for you and I.
Oh, you haven't been recording your daylight?
What do you mean? Yeah, I have.
Like, oh
No, no,
yeah,
no.
okay. So,
Well,
so all you gotta do is just do the run the statistics, right?
yeah, no, I already run the statistics, but not one of all versus half. Like you said yesterday, do one of daylight all versus half the points, and like all the points for sample mean and half the points for hypothesis mean. Uh, what I'm trying to tell you, when you said that, I thought that you were only talking about yourself, but since now on, if you say, "Hey, do this," blah blah blah, I'm gonna assume that you're telling me to do it for yourself and I at the same time if I'm doing the experiment as well.
Yeah, yeah, that's cool. That sounds right. Because in theory, it should come up the same. If we're
Yeah, yeah.
seeing, is um. So let's see. Um, how many points we got?
10.
Then? So it's like marginally significant. It's just barely over the critical.
Yep.
I mean, if you put if you change the sign of the T critical to the positive. Um, the- can you write down somewhere? Can you check that? Is that true? Like, can we just like, if we were to change the hypothesis from what is it like, um, healthy versus neutral or unhealthy to healthy or neutral versus unhealthy? Like, is the like does the T critical just change signs? Like, is it the same value for T critical and you just change signs, or
Yeah, just
like
change sides.
can you double check that
Okay.
to be sure? Because it's definitely a useful trick. Then we don't have to like rerun it. We just fucking know. We just change the sign.
Yeah, it does. But let me try check.
And then yeah, it would be just okay. Yeah, I think that's. I mean, you're pretty sure that just change signs on T critical, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Okay.
because you're meant to pick your
Yeah.
alpha. Otherwise, like, oh yes, how do I calculate my alpha? Well, you're meant to pick where you want your alpha.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yep. I guess that's cool. That makes it much easier.
Yeah.
Do you want to share a screen?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. Trying to move this thing. How can I? Okay. Uh. Yeah. I see. That's cool.
So imagine if it was here, like in the opposite side. You know, this was our alpha, right? Like this area. Do you see my cursor, my mouse? I'm, I'm marking the line. If it was like here, right? Basically, it will be in the rejection zone, and that will be the we will be such switching the null hypothesis to like neutral and or healthy.
Yes. My like bottom the bottom corner of the screen is blocked by the fucking menu, like of the Discord on the phone. Uh, so I only see the half of the graph, but
Yeah,
it's like
but yeah,
yeah,
basically,
I see
if
it. So
we had like a null of like healthy or neutral, it'll be rejected. But since we
yeah,
have a null of unhealthy or neutral, then it's not rejected.
and so our null is unhealthy. What?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, it all makes sense. Yeah, like we would reject it if it was like healthy, basically.
yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And here for the heat, got the t value of what was I gonna say? Here for the healthy, I forgot to delete it. I got the fucking a t value right in all points by the way of 1.390.
Is that what is it? Hair.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
her.
Oh, that's on the unhealthy side, right?
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
no?
that's on the unhealthy side.
Okay. So that one switched as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, like
It
with all
was the
points.
opposite.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's cool.
and here for happiness, this is in the negative side, of course, healthy side. I got the t value on the upper one with 30 points of negative 8.089.
-8.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's easily rejected.
yeah. And what was I gonna say? And yeah, I did that, and I corrected the what is it called? The pair. and I wrote down the correct value, I believe. And what else I was gonna say? Yeah, I wrote down the correct value, and then I did my health research about cold showers.
What's the pair? What's the
What?
pair value? What's the pair value?
Do you want me to check to tell you?
Well, I mean, you've done them, so like,
Yeah, yeah, but
I hope you've done them in order to tell me.
yeah, yeah, but I need to open it. I don't remember which is a specific value given. So I will have to open it. Give me a second. Yeah, I
At this
mean,
point.
there should be some incentives to start with that shit, in my opinion. Also off topic, bro. But like remember that I told you about the creatine, right? That there's three ones, and the best one is one that I was gonna tell you about is monohydrate. Um,
Okay.
Creatine monohydrate. That's the one you wanna buy. Also, one can or not one container of those. It's gonna last you like 3 months, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah,
I
because
thought you were supposed to like take 5 capsules, like fucking shit ton of capsules
no, no,
for
no.
every time.
It's 5 grams per day. You can up the dosage for 7 to 8 if you really want to, but like the recommended is 5. And the
Okay.
container has like a good quantity, and it's gonna last you like 2 months, 3 months. Yeah, and you're meant to take it
Okay.
daily. Uh,
Okay.
uh, Participant. Okay, do you wanna do a podcast now?
Yeah, yeah.
Participants randomized to the intervention groups were instructed to shower as warm as long as preferred, but ending with a respectively 36 years, 90 seconds showering at the coldest available water temperature. They were instructed to use either the timer provided through a web link for smartphones by the research team or a timer of their own in case they could not complete the full period. Participants were asked to time the period using a stopwatch. The average ground temperature at the level running water in the Netherlands and was 10 Celsius, a temperature of 10 Celsius during the study period with the average cold water temperature of 10 to 12 Celsius. The intervention period was 30 consecutive days from January 1 to 30 of 2015. During the following 60 days of uh, January 31 and March 31 of 2015, participants of all three intervention groups were instructed to shower as preferred. Example, taking cold showers as often as long as they preferred. Participants randomized to the control group were instructed to shower as regular with not cold water, which was like either lukewarm or warm, whatnot. During the full 90-day study period, participants randomized to the intervention group were instructed to shower as warm and as long as preferred with ending. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I already read that. The study enrolled 3,018 participants who were randomized into one of four groups: 30 seconds, cold shower 60 seconds, cold shower 90 seconds, cold shower, and a control group. The primary outcomes was sickness absence, and the results showed that all the three cold shower groups had statistically significant difference compared to the hot shower group. However, there was no significant difference between the three cold shower groups for illness days. Only the 60 seconds cold shower group had a significant difference compared to the hot shower group, and there was no significant difference between the three cold showers group. Overall, there was no clear trends between those towards illness or absent. I don't know how to pronounce
I don't get
absent.
it. What? At first you said that there was less illness in the cold showers, and then you said the only one was statistically significant was the 60-second cold shower.
Oh, okay. The study had 3,018 participants who were randomized into the four groups: 30 seconds cold shower, 60 seconds cold shower, 90 seconds cold shower, and a control group. The primary outing was sickness absence. The results showed that all the three cold shower groups had statistically significant differences compared to the hot shower. However, there was no significant difference between the three cold shower groups in terms of if you do it for 30, 60, 90, fucking seconds, there is not gonna be any difference really. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but then after this, you said something that only 60 seconds was significant.
Uh, okay. The well, compared to like the hot shower group.
Well, what was it compared to just when you just said it now?
Wait, what?
When you said it was all three groups were statistically significant, compared to what if not hot shower?
Uh, I mean, uh, I think we're talking. Okay, so how can I explain it to you? Also, let me pause the. We're back. Oh fuck. Okay, so basically, let me. What was your question?
So you said that the three groups were statistically significant different from the other group, from the hot
Yeah.
showers on illness. Then you said that they weren't statistically significantly different between each other. And then you said that the only one of them that was statistically significantly different from the hot shower was the 60 seconds, which, doesn't make sense because at first you said that all of them were statistically significantly different from hot showers.
Uh, Maybe I might have mistyped that, but okay. So what I get out of it, right, is that basically um the 3,080 participants that you know were randomized in four groups and they were taking 30-second showers, 60-90, right? They had like less likelihood of getting sick, right? And yeah, there was a significance in the hot showers, but between those groups, in terms of like 30 seconds and 60 and
Right, there
90,
was not.
yeah, there was no significance.
And then after that, what comes after that? What did you read after that?
That the 60 seconds cold showers group had a significant difference compared to the hot shower one, which
But
means,
yeah, I thought each of them were statistically significant,
yeah, but no, but
not
like,
just
yeah, but like, uh, what I was gonna say, uh, like the 60, fuck, the 60 seconds cold shower is like, the best one compared to the 30 and 90 ones. Like,
uh,
basically that so far compared to like the hot shower, right? I mean, to like the 30, 60, and 90, the one that had a little bit more of a difference was the 60 seconds hot shower. I mean, cold shower.
well, but at first he said that 30 seconds was also, and he said that 30, 60, and 120 was significantly different, and then he said that only 60 seconds was significantly different.
Yeah, but okay. Uh, Maybe I made a fuck up there. Did I? Uh, but I think we're talking there for like illness days, so like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but you never said it was something else.
Yeah, yeah. I need to check that. Thank you for pointing it out. Yeah. I'll recheck it. Um, but
Cool.
yeah, in terms of the overall results, 79 percentage participants in the intervention group they completed the 30-day cold shower protocol, and like 64 continued taking cold showers regularly. Compared to the control group, there was a 29 percentage reduction in sickness absence in the intervention group who took cold showers, hot to cold regularly, and there was no significant difference between the intervention groups in terms of sickness absence reduction. Um, Regular physical,
What? Oh, between them. Yeah.
yeah. and like males were more prone to feel that effect compared to females
Okay.
in terms of like the sickness reduction or absence. But yeah, I think I made a whoopsie there in terms of there was no significant difference between the three cold shower groups. Yeah, it seems like overall but yeah, I'll double check it. The 160 seconds might have been just the most optimal one.
Yeah, yeah, and double check it. Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Cold immersion is a popular recovery intervention after exercise. The scientific rationale is not clear, or rationale is not clear, and there is no clear guidelines for its use.
What?
Uh, one.
What?
Oh, I'm just explaining that cold water immersion is basically experimental.
Oh no, there's well, sort of. I mean, like supposedly, the what is it? Fucking oh yeah, both dopamine and
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
epinephrine go through the roof. Uh,
Yeah, I wrote that down. Uh, okay, well, I'm gonna get into the study then. Using healthy human participants immersed in cold water of less than 15 Celsius degrees for 15 minutes duration or less were included, right? Data were extracted on body temperature, uh, cardiovascular, respiratory, and biochemical response. Uh, 60 studies were included. Sample size was restricted. There was a large degree of study in heterogeneity. Cold water immersion was associated with increasing heart rate, blood pressure, respiratory, minute volume, and metabolism. Decreases in tidal carbon dioxide, partial pressure, and decrease in cerebral blood flow was also reported. There is also evidence in increasing peripheral catecholamine concentration, oxidative stress, possible increase in free radical species formation. The magnitude of those responses might be attenuated with acclimatization. Cold water immersion induces significant psychological and biochemical changes to the body. Much of this, like that the evidence is derived from full body immersions using resting healthy participants. The physiological and biochemical rationale for using short periods of cold water immersion in sports recovery still remains unclear. But that's the parameters of those of this like study or whatnot were not included. Like you had to pay for it. So yeah, I'm gonna go to more in depth ones. Uh, this one is about depression and cold showers or cold hydrotherapy. Depression is well, we already know what is depression, so yes, I'll just skip that. To test the hypothesis that cold water or like cold hydrotherapy it's beneficial for depression. Um, to test the hypothesis, an approach to treating depression is proposed that consists of adapted cold showers of 20 Celsius degrees for 2 to 3 minutes, preceded by a gradual adaptation to make the procedure less shocking, and it was performed once or twice daily. Um, it lasted from like weeks to months, and the following evidence supports the hypothesis that exposure to cold is known to activate the sympathetic nervous system and increase the blood level of beta endorphin and noradrenaline. Beta endorphin is a neuropeptide, an endogenous opioid peptide that is preceded by the pituitary gland and hypothalamus in the human body. It acts as a natural painkiller and has a similar effect of opiates. Opioid. Wait, how do you pronounce that drug? Opioids. Wait. opiates,
Opioids. Opioid.
yeah, opiates, such as morphine and codeine. Beta endorphin is
Oh,
released in
yeah.
response to stress, pain, exercise, and certain foods, and is involved in regulating mood, appetite, and the body's response to stress. Noradrenaline is also known as a norepinephrine, is a transmitter and hormone that is involved in the fight or flight response. It is released from adrenal glands and acts as a hormone to increase heart rate and blood pressure. But yeah, basically, the cold showers increase the levels of beta endorphin and neuroadrenaline and increase the synaptic release of noradrenaline in the brain as well. Due to the high density of cold receptors in the skin, a cold shower is expected to send an overwhelming amount of electrical impulses from the peripheral nerve endings in the brain which could result in antidepressive effect. Practical testing by statistically insignificant number of people who did not have insufficient symptoms to be diagnosed with depression showed that the cold hydrotherapy can relieve depressive symptoms rather can relieve depressive symptoms rather effectively. The therapy was also found to have significant analgesic effect, and it does not appear to have noticeable side effects or cause of dependence. Um, in other words, basically, when you take cold showers, you're more likely, like you said, to feel less depressed and more alert, more hyper when you take a cold shower due to the fact that it increases your beta endorphin and your noradrenaline, and it affects your brain, and it's just overall going to make you feel more active, more energetic, whether it's long lasting or like a short period of time, which didn't say, but apparently it can be a good treatment for depression and also for pain relief because it helps us yes, wait, how do you pronounce that word?
I
uh,
know. Yes.
that sounds funny, analgesic, really.
Yeah, you just keep getting stuck on after the word anal,
Yeah,
anal, anal, anal.
yeah, analgesic, but yeah, um hydrotherapy in general.
Might be analgesic. I don't know. Not sure myself.
Wait, what?
I've heard it. Might be analgesic,
Analgesic?
but I'm not a
I
hundred
think it's
percent sure. I don't.
analgesic, but who knows?
Not sure.
Me neither. Superficial cold application might cause psychological reactions such as decrease in local metabolic function, local edema, nerve conduction velocity, muscle spasm, increase in local anesthetic.
Muscle spur.
Spasm. The other day I got a muscles like fucking contraction, like
Sperm.
spasm going on my thigh. It felt very fucking weird.
Oh,
But
okay.
yeah,
A,
what?
a sperm got stuck in your muscle.
Yeah,
It got lost.
yeah. I have a hole on my fucking leg, and that's where I put my pee pee.
Your sperms are very creative. They're like fucking found a way out, and they're like,
No,
okay,
bro.
we're not getting any eggs. We need to like find it ourselves, and they like fucking like
Oh yeah,
dug themselves out of your balls into your muscles,
yeah. A
looking
baby
for the
is
egg.
growing out of my thigh.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man.
Well,
Okay.
1 hour head out water immersion in various temperatures, 32 Celsius, 20 Celsius, and 14 Celsius, produce various effects. Immersion at 32 Celsius did not change metabolic rate and rectal temperature, but it lowered the heart rate by 15%, systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure by 11 and 12%. To compare with controls at ambient or air temperature, along with heart rate and blood pressure, the plasma renin activity, plasma cortisol, and aldosterone concentrations were lowered by 46, 34, and 70%. When the head was immersed in water temperature at 32 Celsius, it did not cause any changes in metabolic rate. and the plasma renin activity, which is an enzyme involved in regulating blood pressure, and plasma cortisol, a hormone involved in stress response, and aldosterone concentrations, which is a hormone involved in regulating salt and water balance, were also lowered, while the amount of urine produced increased. Those changes suggest that immersion in water at 32 Celsius have a beneficial effect on cardiovascular and endocrine systems. Endocrine systems.
Endocrine.
Endocrine. Yeah. Immersion at 20 Celsius produced similar decrease in plasma renin activity, heart rate, systolic blood pressure, and diastolic blood pressure. Um, in spite of lower 3 and increased MR by 93 percentage, plasma cortisol concentrations tended to decrease while plasma aldosterone concentration was unchanged. Uh, diuresis was increased by 89 percentage. And there was no significant differences in changes in plasma renin activity and aldosterone concentration and uraces compared with subjects immersed in 32 Celsius. Immersion in water is at temperatures of 20 Celsius degrees also produce similar effects on the body as immersion in water at 32 Celsius, such as decrease in plasma renin, heart rate, systolic blood pressure. The systolic blood pressure, however, in contrast of the 32 Celsius immersion, the rectal temperatures decrease and metabolic rate increase during immersion at 20 Celsius. Plasma cortisol concentrations tended to decrease while plasma uh,
Oh, wait. Also, you still haven't updated that spreadsheet with the third test. You know, like you did the second test. So there's a hypothesis 5 points t-test, and there's a 5 points Mathematica test. But then there's a third Mathematica test, and you still haven't updated it.
which one?
It's the very last one at the very bottom of the Mathematica notebook.
But which one is it?
It's where the two data sets get subtracted, and then you just do the test on using one data set, just a bit on the differences. But it's a very I think, number in Mathematica is the um, uh, p-value, basically, of that significance.
Oh, I think I put it. It's called Mathematica too.
Is it well? I think you did, but like you did put like the absolute values.
Oh, okay,
You,
okay,
you didn't put accepted, rejected.
okay. Okay.
Like
So,
it needs to be in the same format as the other two. 1-0.
uh, okay. Could you tell me about it when?
It's the same thing. So like it gives you the p-value, and if it's less than 30, then it's significant. If it's more than 30, it's not. Um,
No, no. I think I updated it, but I can like redo it if you
But
wanted
it,
to.
it's a second one, right? It's a second Mathematica test, and it's supposed to go between 0 and 1 in a spreadsheet.
Um, I'll screen share when we finish this one, and then you can tell me.
Okay.
Okay. Um. Okay. Okay. So the effects. What I was gonna say of different water temperatures in the human body for example at 14 celsius degrees of cold water lower body temperature and increased metabolic rate the rate at which the body burns calories significantly and had a small effect on heart rate and blood pressure. The cold water immersion also increased the levels of hormones of noradrenaline and dopamine, which are associated with stress and alertness. Diuresis or unit output increased more than at 32 Celsius, and plasma aldosterone concentrations increased while plasma renin activity was reduced. Cortisol concentrations tended to decrease while plasma adrenaline concentrations remain unchanged. Immersion in cold water produced different effects than immersion in warmer water and affected various hormones and bodily functions differently. And overall immersion at 32 Celsius and 20 degrees that resulted in decrease in heart rate, blood pressure, plasma renin activity, plasma cortisol, and aldosterone concentrations, while it increased irises. Those effects suggest that immersion in water at those temperatures might have a positive impact in cardiovascular, renal systems, and reducing stress and promoting relaxation. Immersion at 14 resulted in increasing noradrenaline dopamine concentrations, which are associated with increasing sympathetic nervous system activity and stress, while uriasis also increased. The increase was greater than 32 Celsius, which could lead to dehydration if not properly managed. The effects of 14 Celsius were mixed and might not be as beneficial as the effects of 32 and 20 Celsius degrees in water immersion, cold water immersion. So yeah, seems like if you want to actually immerse yourself in cold water, the best ones are 32 and 20 Celsius 20 degrees Celsius.
What is it?
20 and 32 are the best ones in terms of like cardiovascular.
42 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, and 20.
That's hot.
No, I mean negative, I guess.
Negative 32 degrees
I
Celsius.
don't know,
Are
but
you shitting me?
wait, that
Is
suck.
that helium? Are you like getting immersed into like liquid helium?
Wait. What?
That must be in Fahrenheit
Huh?
because smart people are using Fahrenheit.
Fuck. No. Wait. No.
You just
Actually, no. Actually, yeah, I'm tweaking. Okay, seems like overall, okay, yeah, I got mixed up then. Yeah, overall, the best one will be like sort of like hot, well, like or normal temperature, like cold. Fuck, I mean, hot showers tend to be fucking good too as well. And in terms of like,
Okay, I honestly I missed this whole study. I mean, I might need you to like start it from the beginning.
yeah. Okay, let me start. Yeah, and you're right. In terms of like the
Negative 32 Celsius
no,
is
no,
no.
no, 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 no. You're right.
you,
Okay.
you,
I
you,
misconstrued.
you'll get
What?
you'll get so much analgesic effect. You won't feel anything at all. You'll just have no fucking feelings anywhere.
You're right. You're right. Huh. Okay. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab some water really quick.
Sure.
Okay, you ready? So yeah, I
Yeah.
was talking. In fact, this basically says that yeah, fucking hot showers are actually uh more beneficial to compare to the 14 degrees 40 degrees
Like
Celsius ones.
you literally like found the study. You looked into it. You copied all the information. You read it to me, and
No,
you
no, no. I
didn't
read it.
realize that.
No, no, no. I read it. I read it. I read the study.
And you didn't and you still didn't realize that
Yeah,
it was
because
saying that hot showers are beneficial.
yeah, because it was meant to be a study done by like it was meant to be like I guess the title itself, right? It basically said like cold showers and shit like that, right? And I thought that they were on specifically speaking about cold showers, right? And I read it, and I'm like, okay, this seems beneficial, like. And then I learned what's diuresis. I learned what's, for example, diuresis. I learned what's
I'm not
fucking
sure about that. Diuresis.
what?
That's when they take diuresis is when they take your blood and separate out the fucking white platelets. I think. I don't know if that's what you mean.
No, diuresis, sorry.
Or diuretic.
No, diuresis. Diuresis. Yeah, it's like the production of your urine in your kidneys.
Diuretic. Diuresis. Oh, it's like diuretic. I guess is an adjective, like meaning
Yeah.
that it makes you pee more.
No, but
Okay, but yeah,
all this time, I thought that they were in the title. It
yeah,
was
that's
like cold shower, and I'm like, okay, we're talking about cold showers, and I did read it, right? And then there was sort of words such as, for example, well, what's the word of aldosterone? Yeah, aldosterone, which I had to learn and stuff like that, and I read it, and then what I was gonna say. Yeah, I thought that we were talking about fucking cold showers all the time. I thought that, I don't know, like I literally forgot about the meaning of like fucking degrees and everything, because I'm like, okay, these people are the story was done about fucking
yeah,
cold showers, so I was thinking that we were talking
yeah,
about cold showers.
yeah, yeah. I got you. Yeah, let's rerun through the study again because I literally missed most of it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I was fucking confused as fuck. I mean, I'm confused as fuck because all this time I thought they were talking about fucking cold showers, and I did read it, and I
Yeah,
subtracted the
yeah,
most valuable information. But it was like, okay, damn, I failed to myself. I mean, yeah,
it's cool.
1 hour,
Let's let's
one,
let's reread it with the with the looking out for the temperatures.
yeah, 32 Celsius, 20, and 14 Celsius. Uh, the 1 hour, it was 1 hour head out water immersion. Uh,
What like yeah. So definitely start from the beginning.
1 hour head out immersion in various
What
temperatures,
what does that mean?
like
Had what?
basically that your head is also like immersed underwater, and then you just chill there, like basically
Okay.
like
Like lie down in water so that most of your head is your face maybe is outside of the water.
that, or like when people tend to get into like swimming pools and their water is like popping out like their neck.
Well, that's the head out. That's so head out. I mean, the head is above the water. So are we talking about head above the water or
No, no, I said
like
1 hour
in the
head
water?
out water immersion.
Okay, so basically up to their neck.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, for 1 hour. Damn. Okay.
uh in various temperatures, 32 Celsius, 22 Celsius, and 14 Celsius produce various effects. Immersion at 32 Celsius did not change metabolic rate and recall temperature, which is called also TRE, but it lowered
What's the theory?
the basically like your body temperature.
Oh, natural body temperature.
Yeah,
And so the 32 degrees didn't change. What one was that, please?
metabolic rate or rectal temperature.
Oh, okay. Oh, rectal. That's what you said. Okay.
Yeah. Uh,
But that was that rectal temperature measured after, like, when was that measured? Like immediately after the immersion, or like a while after, or
um, uh,
during?
I mean, it just only said that basically it was measured, so I'm like assuming when they got out, because why would you
Yeah,
want to know their temperature of their fucking rectum before the treatment? If
not before. Well, to compare it, obviously, before you
yeah,
need to know before the
yeah, but
compare.
for
But like,
that you gotta pay or like shit like that in order to find out that
uh,
information.
oh, it's just an abstract.
Like the entire study, by itself is like you cannot see all of it because you gotta obtain permission. So I just subtracted the most important, and I did promise that I did read it, and I thought we were talking, and then I subtracted
Yeah,
some
yeah,
of the valuable information, and thought we were talking about cold showers because it was fucking
yeah, yeah.
cold shower hydrotherapy. But I guess they were just saying, yeah, actually, cold showers in this case were not that beneficial.
Okay, so it didn't change metabolic rate and rectal temperature,
Yeah, which will
which
be
is
also I remember is like a measure to tell what's like your overall body temperature.
wait, what's a normal temperature? Is that 30, like 36.6? Oh,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
body, normal
30,
body.
35 to
Oh, okay.
37.
Oh, okay. That makes sense why I didn't change the body temperature. It was probably measured during the immersion, and
Yeah,
because it's not. For a second, I thought it was like a hot, hot water that was hotter than the body temperature. I was like, "Well, how can it not fucking raise your body temperature if it's hotter?" But
yeah,
okay, it's actually a little bit colder than your body temperature.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, nice. Okay,
What I was
very
gonna
nice.
say, and the heart rate, what I was gonna say, it lowered the heart rate by 15 percentage, and the systolic blood pressure and systolic blood pressure and diastolic blood pressure by 11 and 12 percentage. Uh, Compare with controls at ambient temperature along with heart rate and blood pressure, the plasma renin activity, plasma.
Wait. What was the control?
What?
What was the control group?
No, I don't think that in this one there was such thing as a control. They were just testing
You
people out in terms of how
you
they.
just you just said compared to control.
I mean, like I guess, but they didn't like specify anything in terms of like uh yeah in the metrics and shit like that that I mean the only comparison they made is like with an average temperature, like the average ambient temperature, and the average ambient temperature will be what's the word I'm looking for, what was it?
Was it immersion in that temperature, or was it just, I don't know, lying down and doing nothing?
Yeah, I mean, but wait, I'm trying to remember what's normal. I did look it up. It was not there, but I'm just trying to remember what's in Fahrenheit. I remember reading that the ambient air temperature will be like around. It was something around 70. Yeah, it was around 70. But like the in terms of like the only comparison there was, it was that the control were like in ambient temperature, but they did not, you know fucking explain metrics or whatnot. It was just very vague.
But was it the water temperature,
Uh,
ambient temperature of the water,
it just said ambient air temperature.
ambient air temperature?
Yeah, so I'm assuming that they're also referring to water there, I guess.
I mean, uh, I would assume that they mean that they were just not in the water, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if you wanna write it down to check on it,
Yeah. Although, like I told you, it was very uh, concise
limited.
and limited. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
see
brief.
if you see if it's there. Like what was the control?
Yeah, I'll check.
Um,
And with heart rate and blood pressure, the plasma running activity, plasma cortisol, and aldosterone concentrations were also lowered by 46, 34, and 17 percentage. Um, while neurosis
in
was
the
increased.
in the 32 degree,
Yeah, yeah.
in the 32 degree, whatever.
Yep, yeah, we're talking about 30, we're talking about 32 Celsius. Uh, yeah.
Could you repeat what was changed again? The last few things.
Wait, one.
Could you repeat the last sentence?
Uh, so basically, the heart rate, blood pressure, the plasma renin activity, plasma cortisol, and aldosterone concentrations were also
Plasma what activity?
what?
Plasma what activity?
Plasma cortisol and plasma renin activity and plasma cortisol.
What's a renin activity? Do you know?
Plasma renin, yeah, I did look it up. It's basically what I was gonna say. It's like an enzyme, right? Released by the kidney, and when what is it called? What is it called? When you have like a decreased salt and sodium in the
Is that albumin?
what?
What's the word albumin?
No, no, no. The word is like plasma renin, not albumin.
Renin, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like how can I explain it to you? It's like a I read about it. I'm just trying to remember, and I'm a little bit nervous. Sorry. Um, it's like an enzyme, right? That is part of like the kidneys, right? Um, or released by the kidneys, and
Yeah.
it regulates the it helps it plays a role in regulating like the blood pressure and thirst and the like how much you piss basically. Yeah, that's what I remembered reading about.
Okay. Okay. So it was renin, cortisol. It what you say it reduced renin, cortisol.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, the heart rate, blood pressure, plasma renin activity, plasma cortisol, and aldosterone concentrations were lowered by 46 and 34 and 17 percentage.
Yeah. That's a pretty good dip in a fucking cortisol.
Yeah,
Fucking. Well, I guess when we looked at the fucking dip, like it goes fucking from like 16 to 0.5. I guess like 30% is nothing compared to the full cycle of the cortisol.
yeah,
Maybe they're measuring the fucking day cycle anyways, just like in the other study. Like if they take an hour.
yeah. And in immersion at 20 Celsius produce similar decrease in plasma brain activity, heart rate, systolic blood pressure, and diastolic blood pressure, and it lowered the rectal temperature and metabolic rate by 93. Plasma cortisol concentrations tended to decrease, while plasma aldosterone concentration was unchanged. Diuresis was increased by 89 percentage, and there was no significant.
Was increased.
Yeah,
Interesting. Weird. So like in a like a chilly water, slightly chilly water for an hour, it's like you're that it's very diuretic.
yeah. Yeah, that's basically what diuresis is.
Okay.
And there was no significant differences in changes of plasma renin activity, aldosterone concentrations, and diuresis compared with subjects immersed at 32 Celsius. Um, Immersion in water at temperatures of 20 Celsius also produce uh, similar effects on the body as immersion in waters at temperatures of 32 Celsius, such as decrease in plasma renin, heart rate, systolic blood pressure, diastolic blood pressure. But compared to like the 32 Celsius, I mean 32 degrees Celsius immersion, the rectal temperature decreased and metabolic rate increased during immersion at 26 degrees. Plasma cortisol concentrations tended to decrease, while plasma aldosterone concentrations was unchanged. Diuresis, yeah, I already read that, but in case you wanted to listen to it again, which was comparable to the increase observed during the 32 immersion, there was no significant differences in changes in plasma renin activity, aldosterone concentrations, and diuresis between the two temperatures. Immersions at 14 Celsius lowered the tree and increased MR by 350 percentage, HR and which will be heart rate, systolic blood pressure, and diastolic blood pressure by 5 percentage, 7 percentage, and 8 percentage. Plasma, noradrenaline, and dopamine concentrations were increased by 530 percentage and 250 percentage, while diuresis increased by 163 percentage, which was more than 32 Celsius. Plasma
What
aldosterone.
uh,
Hmm?
what was the effect on dopamine in 32 degrees Celsius?
In 32 degrees Celsius, uh, it
Yeah.
it did not say in terms of like dopamine.
Okay.
Um, what I was gonna say, diuresis increased by 163, which was more than 32 Celsius. Plasma aldosterone concentrations increased by 23 percentage. Plasma renin activity was reduced. Cortisol concentrations tended to decrease. Plasma adrenaline concentrations remain unchanged. Changes in plasma renin activity were not related to changes in aldosterone concentrations. The effects of different water temperatures in the human body immersion at 14 Celsius cold water, lower body temperature, and increased metabolic rate. The, the rate at which the body burns calories is significantly and had a small effect on heart rate, blood pressure. The cold water immersion also increased the levels of hormones, noradrenaline and dopamine, which are associated with stress and alertness. Um, Diuresis and urine output increased more than 32 Celsius. Um, and plasma aldosterone concentrations increased while plasma renin activity was reduced. Cortisol concentrations tended to decrease while plasma adrenaline concentrations remain unchanged. Overall, the immersion in cold water produced different effects than the immersion in warm water and affected various hormones and bodily functions differently.
Cool.
Yeah,
No, I mean for the dopamine, obviously, like that, the cold one is like insane.
yeah. Uh, this one is about what I was gonna say. Patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease and what the effects of hydrotherapy therapeutic applications um, according blah, the, what effects of hydrotherapeutic applications have on lung function, blood gases, immune system, and quality of life. Uh, the patients and the method. This is describing a study on the effects of cold effusions, cold water splashes, and cold washings of the upper part of the body in patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And the study involved 20 participants with the chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
What is it? The washings of the upper body? What?
What?
What was the treatment?
I'm about to tell you the treatment. Uh,
Oh, okay.
so cold water splashes and cold washings for the upper part of the body with patients with yeah, like basically yeah, that like
Okay.
a cold washing of the upper part of the body and being splashed with cold water. That's the only thing that there was in the study. Then the study involved 20
Okay.
patients with that chronic disease, chronic pulmonary disease, and they measured the different parameters at different points, including before and after the treatment. The uh, the study the results of the study showed that after 10 weeks of treatment, there was significant improvement in lung function, blood gases, and maximal respiratory flow compared to the baseline period, and there was a reduction in respiratory infections, improvements in patients' quality of life. The experimental lab measurements showed a reduction in inflammatory markers such as interleukins and lymphocytes. Uh, I already told you what's an interleukins and lymphocytes, but I don't know if you remember. Yeah, I think you do.
I don't think you told me, but I know what they are.
Okay, well, lymphocytes are basically a type of white blood cell that plays an important role in the immune system. They are produced in the bone marrow and can be found in, well, I told you in like a different study. They're produced in bone marrow and can be found in blood and lymphatic system. Lymphocytes are responsible for identifying and attacking foreign substances such as viruses, bacteria, and cancer cells. Um, and also like interleukins is a group of related proteins made by the leukocytes, which are white blood cells. And they regulate the immune system responses. And yeah, and they
Okay.
also like boost up like the immune system. Anyways, um, and overall, this study suggests that the cold affusions and washings might have beneficial effects in patients um, with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, leading to improvement of the lungs, reduction, and reduction of reduction in respiratory infections, and improve quality of life. The study suggested regular cold effusions in cold washings of the upper part of the body have a positive effect on aspects of respiratory health in patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. The increase in pH might indicate improvements in the body's acid-base balance, which can affect various bodily processes. The increase in maximal respiratory flow suggests an improvement in lung function, while the increase in lymphocytes might indicate a boost in the immune system. The decrease in intercellular expression of IL-4 by T lymphocytes, and IL-4 is a cytokine, a type of signaling molecule that is produced by several immune system cells, including T helper type 2 and Th2 cells, mast cells, and basophils. Lymphocytes, also known as C cells, are a type of white cells that play a central role in the immune system. IL-4 is produced by activated T cells and it's involved in a variety of immune responses, including the activation of different differentiation of B cells, which is another type of white cell, white blood cell, and the production of antibodies. It also plays a role in inflammation and allergies. Um, it suggested the reduction in inflammation, while the increase in IFN gamma expression suggested a boost in immune system function. An IFN gamma is a type of cytokine which is a signaling molecule that plays a role in the immune system, and it's produced by a certain amount of immune cells, including T cells and natural killer cells. So while the increase in IFN gamma expression suggests a boost in the immune system function, the lower frequency of infections during the follow-up suggests that the treatment might have provided some protection against respiratory infection. Improvement in quality of life reported by the patients is also a positive outcome. Overall, the findings suggest that regular cold infusions and cold washings of the upper body might have beneficial effects of respiratory health and quality of life in patients with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. Do you hear me?
Um, yeah. So what was the most interesting outcome?
Wait, what? I did not hear what you said.
What was the most interesting outcome
Well, that overall, like
to you?
the cold water infusions, reinforce your immune system, and you're less likely to contract uh, like your lung function overall gets better, right? And you are less likely to get respiratory infections, and it improves the quality of life of people that have chronic obstructive pulmonary disease.
Okay, and then so leukocytes went up in number, right?
Yeah.
And then which interleukin did they look at? You said interleukin 4.
Wait. What? The
Which
interleukin?
interleukin? Yeah, which one did they look at? You said interleukin 4,
Yeah, interleukin 4, which is a cytokine.
and then it went up.
Yep. No, no, no,
Huh.
no, 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 no. The interleukin 4, it went down.
You said went down.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's I guess that's better. Um, and like, do you know when did they measure it? Like, what was the experiment set up again?
People with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, and uh, they had like a 10 weeks treatment with cold infusions, like splashing cold water
Two and a half months.
cold washings of the upper part of the body.
And then after 2.5 months, they checked their leukocytes and interleukin.
Uh, yeah.
Nice, man. Yeah, that's fucking amazing. Oh, how often did they do it for a week?
Um, the people, or like the participants, you know, they did that, but it didn't say, as far as I'm concerned, how often they were doing it.
Okay, gotcha.
Like, yeah, it only said
Yeah,
that they did it for 10 weeks.
yeah, man. Every time I take a shower, I should probably do some fucking cold water splashing.
No, I think that, or like, I don't know if you wanted to do it or not, but like, I want to try, doing cold showers versus hot ones.
Yeah.
Um,
Um.
there's another one. I don't know if you want to hear it. This is the last one.
Yeah. Yeah.
The study investigates the effect of cold water hydrotherapy stimulation according to Hormesis' principle by Sebastian Nape on the number of missing kindergarten days, uh, fever days, and respiratory tract infections in children aged 3 and 6. Um, the study design is a non-randomized control explorative mixed methods of clinical study, and the intervention, the hydrotherapeutic intervention, treated children aged 3 and 6 years with nape arm infusion over 6 weeks, The control group received no intervention. Number of missing kindergarten days, fewer days. Wait, my throat, 1 second. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So the heterotherapeutic intervention treating children aged 3 and 6 years with nape arm effusions. Uh, uh,
You
how
mean
can I?
submersion?
Yeah, not really. Like when I look what that is basically they kind of wash your back and your arms, repeatedly for like a few seconds, and then they clean it off.
Cold water.
Yeah, cold water. But like, yeah, that's basically what it is.
That's nice. That's easy. Just get some little bit of cold on your hands and back, whatever.
Yeah, through your arms and your back. The control group dress.
Mm.
Hmm.
You know what? What do you think? How would that compare? Hmm. Like splashing your face with cold water. Would
Mm,
that would be a pretty different effect, right?
probably, yeah.
Mm.
I don't think that that will have a lot of effect on the body. Effect just except just making you a little bit more alert. But I don't think that it'll be helpful to do it in terms of affecting your heart rate and other parameters of your biomarkers of your body.
Oh, what about like splashing your face with cold water and like rubbing it on your neck? You know how you just kind of like do more than the face, so like face and also like neck all around, and kind of definitely kind of gives you a bit of jitters.
Maybe. I mean, never tried doing it.
I'm just thinking of something easy where like I literally could while I'm at the truck stop just run into the bathroom and do real quick.
Maybe you should like buy like a sponge, right? And you just take up your fucking your
Oh,
t-shirt,
yeah.
and then you rub like cold water on your back and your upper back and like your shoulders and a little bit of your arms and your face, and then you just like wait out. You put down your t-shirt after 3 4 minutes, and that's it.
Well, with the kids, apparently even a couple seconds, like a few seconds works.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
I'm just
so
thinking maybe like make it easy enough where like it's super easy to like always do, and like it's never like you skip it because it was too hard.
yeah, yeah. So the control group received no intervention. The number of missed kindergarten days, fever days, and respiratory tract infections were assessed by means of digital diary through a self-developed structure questionnaire. Socio-demographic data of both groups were compared, and reason for participation in the study was recorded and evaluated. The results were 20 children participants and their parents in the intervention group, and 18 in the 20 children participants and their parents in the intervention group and 18 in the control group were evaluated. Intervention was conducted at home by the parents. A statistical analysis revealed no significant differences between the group, but still showed intermediate effect sizes, indicating an underpowered underpowered study, those effect size point to a potential lower proportion of children in the application group versus the control group with missed kindergarten days. In total, the days missed for were like 0.667 days missed due to fever. I mean, in the control group with missed kindergarten days in total was 0.67, and days missed due to fever was 0.29, and infections of lower. And there, I assume that we were talking about percentages, right? Like it will be like 60, 70,
Oh,
no?
I don't know. It could be total day. Oh, yeah, yeah, you're right. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And infections of the lower respiratory tract were 0.60 percentage. Uh, those parameters serve as factors for evaluations. Parents stated reasons for participation interests were improved health, increase their own health knowledge, and because of their interest in alternative therapies and support research. In conclusion, cold water hydrotherapy simulations, according to Hormoz's principle by Sebastian Knipp, did reduce the number of days of absence in kindergarten in total in the compared to the intervention, did reduce the numbers of days absent in kindergarten in total in the intervention group, and lower respiratory tract infections um, occurred less frequently. Parent participation interns demonstrated a desire to increase health literacy and implement this with their own children. Due to the small sample size, the results should be interpreted cautiously. But yeah, apparently people that I mean the kids that were fucking treated with the knee arm fusions with cold water over 6 weeks tended to be less absent in classes compared to the ones that were being treated with hot water.
So what was the difference again? You said so. For example, 0.67 total missed days for those who did get cold water, and what was it for
Like
those who
what?
didn't?
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So what I'm assuming it will be like the ones that didn't get treated. I mean, it was like okay. Listen, the effect size point to a potential lower proportion of children in the application group versus the control group with missed kindergarten days. In total, were 0.67 percentage, which implicates that based on what I got, right, because there was no more information. It was only that, and I tried to when I look at and I read a study, I tried to look up the title for other fucking websites to see if they have the information. Nope, you gotta pay for it or request for the study, which is kind of lame. Um, so and I look for in like multiple websites before I give up. And basically, what I get is that 77, I mean 67 percentage of the kids that didn't get the water effusions for 6 weeks um, were 67 percentage more absent in class compared to the ones that got the water in cold water arm infusions and back infusions. So, in other words, if you don't get the kindergarten kids that didn't get the cold water infusions were 67 percentage more likely to fucking be absent in classes compared to the other ones that got them. I don't know if you get it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the study, yeah, showed some significant results, but we gotta remember that we're talking
What
at
what
like 38
what?
people, 38 kids.
Well, I mean, remember, like, if something is good, like, we get fucking statistically significant fucking answer with a beta of like less than 1%, at
Yeah,
4 points. Even 4 points will already give like a beta of less than 1% if something is like really really good.
Yeah, yeah.
Doesn't can it depending on how good it is, it can take very few points. But let's see. What was what how did the days missed due to fever compare?
Okay, it was 0.29.
What was 0.29?
Days missed due to fever, like out of those 60, 67.
In the ones that did get treatment, right?
Uh, yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean anything, right? Like what like how does that compare? Like is that more or less?
I mean,
Is that
huh. I mean, I guess I will think that the overall amounts of kids that didn't uh, the total amount of fucking kids that got the treatment, the cold water affusions. Um, I guess how do I interpret this? Like the fever days.
you can't unless you know what it is for those who didn't get the treatment, or at least the average,
Okay, this
of all the kids.
if we made an assumption, what will you believe? If I was assuming, I mean, mm,
I mean, I guess they'd say the results, that the kids that got the treatment were less sick, but like I was just curious, like by how much.
mm, okay, uh, by what will you say, Broski? If you had to take a wild guess, what will you say
On what question?
on the fever one?
Uh, yeah, but what exactly is the question?
This means due to fever 0.29 percentage, I mean, but like,
But I mean, it just applies to those who got treatment. Like without us knowing what happened to those who didn't get treatment, like there's no way to compare. So like whether it's percentage or days. So let's say it's percentage. That means like 0.67% of the school days were missed in the treatment group,
uh huh.
or 0.67 days per kid were missed on average in the treatment group. Either way, it doesn't mean anything because we don't know what's the average, percentage of days missed, or what was the days missed in a control group. There's nothing for us to compare it with. We just know the number for the treatment group, but
Yeah, and the conclusion is that basically the cold water hydrotherapy treated kids were less absent in classes, like they were getting sick
yeah.
less.
So we know the direction, we just don't know like exactly by how much.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
just know the exact number for the treatment group, but doesn't really mean anything with that without being able to compare it.
So, how would you like to start the experiment in regards to like proper cold shower or like something that you can do? Or what I was thinking, what if you do like the cold shower, or like I don't know, what if I do the cold shower, right? Depending on the random number generator, what it lands, and you do the water like fucking affusions, like where you rub your back with a cold water sponge, and you dump, or you rub your a sponge of cold water on your back or on your arms and neck and face and see how it reacts, and you'll see how your body reacts to it.
Yeah,
What do you think?
it would definitely like if we're thinking about doing something like every day or even like most days,
Yeah,
it would definitely have to be a sponge.
yeah, but I was thinking, should we both do the same thing, or should I do the showering with cold or warm water, and you can do the sponge only? Like,
Well, I vote for you just do it.
what I do, which
Because
one? No, no, no. I know, I know.
Uh,
But like, I do the showering only, and you do the sponge, or do you want me to do the sponge one as well?
well, the shower would be just like once in a while because there's no way I can do
No,
shower
no.
every
But
like I
I know,
can.
I know.
It's like impossible for me to motivate myself to get in the shower every day.
Yeah, no, no.
But the
I
sponge every
know.
day is definitely more doable. Um, I mean the sponge. I mean, it only takes a fucking few seconds, like, to do the sponge thing. You know, you just get the shivers from the sponge, and then you're done.
Yeah, you will be shivering your
And
ass
then like
off.
that. Uh,
You're gonna be shivering your ass off while you're driving.
no, no, you just do it for a few seconds. You know, you get a, you fucking have a sponge in the fridge. You know, like, like basically near zero, and then you just, sponge yourself,
With
and then
water,
for a
of
few
course.
seconds. Well, it would be a wet sponge in water in the fridge,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so you would sponge yourself. You would obviously like start shivering like immediately because it's like fucking, zero, freezing.
Uh huh.
And then like a few seconds later, you wipe it off, put it on a t-shirt. So the whole thing would take like, few sec like, 5 seconds off the sponge.
Yeah, yeah.
You could get the shivers. So it would be like similar to the kids. And like that would be super easy for me to, I think, motivate myself to do every day. Or I wouldn't have to, like lose mana.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, and it might, have, it might give most of the benefits, if not all benefits, if you just do it every day.
Yeah,
Because I heard like a cold shower is good, like only like 2 or 3 times a week. But that's if you like, obviously do it for a while. But if you do it for just a few seconds every day, you might get all the benefits as well.
yeah, yeah. You should definitely do it. I think you should go longer than like a few seconds, maybe like 1 minute. Yeah.
But we should try like a few seconds. I mean, because obviously that would be better than nothing. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Uh,
then
yeah, but I was thinking, should we both conduct the same experiment or each their own in terms of like that way we will get two results? Or like,
well, because it's pretty hard, it's kind of hard work to do because it's obviously like
no, 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 I already
uh,
know, no, no, I already know with the shower, I understand your situation, but what I was thinking,
either way,
what,
really like
yeah,
no,
let me make
so
a
that
comment
definitely
really quick.
definitely no. So the answer to that is like let's just you do it
Yeah, yeah, that's what, yeah,
at first.
yeah, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
So,
and let's do the sponge, like just a cold sponge for like a few seconds.
yeah, yeah, okay. So I'll do. How about I'll do? Um, I don't
Until
know.
or like until you start shivering, and then like 1 or 2 seconds after you start shivering, then just wipe it
Yeah,
off.
yeah, but make sure,
Let's just uh
that you rub the sponge against, like, your back, your neck, your face, and your, like, your arms, like the upper part of your arms.
okay. Well, okay, yeah, that makes sense. And so like as soon as you start shivering, then like maybe like a couple seconds after that, you would wipe it off. Um, because like it would be really easy to motivate yourself to do that, as whenever at any point, because it only takes a short time, I
Should we
think
do it
maybe.
daily or like random number generator? Like,
Oh, definitely random number.
so two or
Um,
three, we do it one, no?
I think um let's just do the same thing. One do it, 2 or 3 don't do it. So 2 or 3 is like every, like, the normal days, like, the usual, and then one is, you try it, and then I think because like I want us to rerun that 4 days before, 4 days after, and if we do one do it, two, three don't do it, then we can see a longer effect. Like sometimes you go 3 days without doing it, and then when we do the 4 days before, 4 days after, we'll see the effect of it. Just like a 3 days worth of effect. Like you've
Okay.
done it, and then you'll see the effect on the second day and the third day.
Okay.
um, that was a part of the thinking with the one do, two, three don't do is maybe the ability to see like a longer term effect. And um yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it definitely seems like with some things it's a good idea to take a break. So um maybe that'd be cool. Yeah, yeah, man. And then I have no idea. I still haven't figured out about the fucking sleep though, and sound. So there would be two variables, right? Like, well, one variable. Like well, you'll still test your happiness at the whenever you test it.
Yeah, yeah.
But then the second variable would be the freaking total hours of sleep,
I was
because
thinking about something. Uh, I was,
no,
yeah,
what, really?
yeah, yeah. I was thinking about like, looking in my data. I don't know if you wanted to do that or not. Like, see some sort of like combinations of some data sets. Like, for example, combining doing this and this at the same time, right? And how they like for example, if I get like five values where I did these two things at the same time or something like that, like get the data out of those, in terms of like the happiness, the hair, and the fucking the memory, and see how they compare to when I didn't do it at the same time. Like, I didn't do two things within the same day, and I did two things within the same day. But I don't know if that will be interesting or not. Hello, can you hear me?